Yo, Rana, and welcome to FM20. Hope you're doing well. It's been a while since I've actually recorded anything because of, work and life and lockdown, I guess. So I'll be recapping what's gone on as much for me as I will be for the rest of you guys watching this. Hope you've all been well and everything's been going okay with you. At the time of recording this episode, Football Manager just released some of the first lot of features like XG. For FM20, so there'd been that teaser video and the one with Spencer from #United. So that's where we are timeline wise. But when I'd recorded the last video, so the opener for season 5, that's probably about 3 weeks ago. So there's been a bit of a gap. But just the one match for this. I'll talk a little bit about what I'm thinking and what I'm planning as well during the match. But hopefully this will be an interesting one. So the match we've got up next is against our former employers, rapper E.T. Feral Cats. You can see we've played 7 games here. We've got 13 points. We've won 4, drawn 1, lost 2. Reasonable goal difference. If we look at the schedule, you kind of see what's going on there. So we had a 3-2 win against Magdalena. Lost against Mangareva, who are the kind of team who have got big money behind them. Managed to smash Taha 5-0, but before that we'd lost against Moapira 4-2. Beat Manuel 3-1 in the league, but lost against them in extra time in the Windward Isle quarter-final. Drew with the Jupiters, and then obviously beat the Humpbacks during the first game of the season. So a few bounces here and there, but not terrible for a newly promoted team. So we're feeling pretty good there, and I think in the last match against the Humpbacks, I mentioned trying to sign a new striker. It's this guy, so we put in a really big wage bid for him, £625, to try and steal him away from someone else. And his face pack from the Chilled Moose pack is really good, but actually he's not that good, and he's not scored for us. He's rated really highly, but to be fair, he has been a bit unlucky with some of his shots and stuff like that. But he's not quite stormed into the side like we were hoping, but we've still got time for him. There's still space, there's still opportunity. And that's pretty much it for catching up. We're doing well in the league. That's all we can really say. With that, Bonin's got 5 goals, good average rating. But now we need to see how we're going to do against the Feral Cats. So in terms of their team, are there any kind of familiar names there? So I think Fabien Arnaud wasn't with us when we were there. Can't remember if we signed Kevin Barbe or not, but I recognise the name. Jordan Escu, we did. He was one of our signings. He's still there. He's 30 now. Liam Papin again. Cian Tuafa, I think. No, he wouldn't have been ours. So actually, a lot of the players that we had at the team have now gone, so that's going to be interesting when we play against them now. So yeah, Papin and SQ might come back to haunt us maybe, but we're on track to do well this season. A few things to do with the team, just check what we've got. So we've got Wearing, Pfeiffer, Roland and Vidal all there. So Roland and Pfeiffer. Now Pfeiffer's actually back from international duty. He's probably our first choice centre-back pairing. Parmentier, we could really do with getting on the bench, I think, instead of Sabetier. What's going on there? Moulin, we need to get back into the squad, so we'll bring him on for Pereira. Those are the main ones. We've got Renault Boston and Carton, so let's bring on... I didn't bring on Moulin, did I? There we go. Boston up and going there for Pereira. That's more like it, I think. Yeah, we'll go with that. Lopez Rodriguez I'll have up front with Liaga, the kind of massive target man that we signed. And then we've got Bonin with his 5 goals. And the other Bonin as well. They've both been doing well from the subs bench. Let's give it a go. See how this goes. We've gone back to our standard kind of 4-3-1-2 tactic rather than 3 up front. They've got 1 up front with Papin. Nothing to lose here for this one. Yep, always good to rely on him. Team does kind of pick yourself at this point. Yeah, so we're in mid-October now, which means we've probably got about 4 or 5 weeks until Football Manager 21's out, which means I'll probably be bringing the series to a close. I think I'll get to the end of season 5, definitely, and then I might play on but not record it and just come back for some summaries here and there for Tahiti. And for Belfast by the Numbers, I'll finish off season 11 and then carry on playing off camera and come back for any. Fight for Almost, got that one from the throw-in. Again, I'll just come back for any kind of big updates, but I'll try and round off both seasons that we're in and then just carry on. I'm still enjoying them, and there's no reason why I can't carry on playing them when Football Manager 21 starts. But it'll just depend partly on where we get to. So if we get to the end of the season and there's something big going on, then we'll carry on for a little bit, time permitting, but it's just a bit of a squeeze time-wise at the moment. I'm struggling to get any time to play or record. Right. Dig in. I mean, a draw's not the worst thing we could have. And let's get Thomas Bonin in for Lopez Rodriguez, who was anonymous. I mean, most of the team was anonymous in that one. Oh, Barbe. Right from the kickoff, that's not good, is it? Yes, I'll carry on playing whilst I'm enjoying it. But the recording's going to be curtailed a little bit, but I want to finish things off, because I know if you've been following things, you've been following things for a while now, and I don't want to just leave you in the lurch without any kind of ending. I don't want to stop mid-season. That'd be a bit odd, wouldn't it? I've seen people do it. I'd rather not, because it always annoyed me. Gonliaga, Bonin's there. Oh, camera picked up on the loose ball afterwards. So Bonin doing a lot of the work there, setting that up, to be honest. Not bad. That's us back in it. Carton with the through-ish ball. Tigerman picks it up. Onto Bonin, and then we've got the attacking midfielder in the hole picking it up. Not bad. In terms of what I'll be doing for Football Manager 21, the plan is, instead of the by the numbers save, I'm going to do a defug and data save. So if you're not familiar with it, the defug or the defug challenge is the one from the forums where you take over a team that's newly promoted into the bottom tier of the English Football League in the kind of vanilla game. So normally, Vanarama, North or South, so your holiday season, and then you pick up one of the promoted teams and take over them. And the idea is you've got to get them all the way up to the top flight, win the Premiership, win the Champions League before you move on. And if you get sacked, you just got to go back and start with the newly promoted team again. That's pretty much it. There are a few other kind of rules alongside it, but that's the main thing we'll be doing. But because the new Football Manager 21 has more data stuff in, so it's got XG. So I spent all this time calculating it myself, and now it's going to be included in the game, including like the XG time maps. So what we'll do is pretty much use the data stuff that's in the game, if it's working, hopefully it's working, and use data to drive our kind of promotion up the ranks. And I thought I'd go for that rather than going back to somewhere like Northern Ireland, because one of the things that's probably held us back is because it's such a small league and it's difficult to get players in, it's difficult to get money in. We've not been able to upgrade our data and our analyst kind of facilities and things like that. We've not had as much in the way of a player pool to pick from, where we've been able to kind of use data to help us. We've been one-dimensional in tactics. Our players aren't as good and that kind of stuff. So hopefully by going into the English league system and getting promotions into like the League One, Championship and Premiership, we'll have a better draw essentially for players, more money, more ability to use the data analysis stuff in there, because I imagine XG is not going to be available to every team. You're going to have to have the right facilities and staff. So I'll give us a chance to actually do that and use the data properly. So I'll be doing that from the beta probably, and then I'll be doing my Tahiti save, and then everything else I'll be doing will just be for my blog. So I'll be carrying on maybe with my Locomotive Leipzig story, and maybe doing some network succession stuff, maybe with FM Stag. But basically it'll just be 2 things on the channel: the Fugue and Data, and then the FM Tahiti one. And what I'll probably do is I'll go to a shorter season. So I'll probably do 3 to 6 episodes per season, depending on what's going on, and bulk it up with blog posts on the blog, especially for the data stuff where I need to get a bit more in depth. I'll do kind of side data posts on there. So I basically chatted all the way through that match. I didn't really commentate on what was going on, but you can see 1-1. We pulled it back. It's another point on the board. Gets us to 14 points after 8. Keeps us in 3rd place. I mean, we could drop quite easily down to 5th or 6th, or 5th, I guess, on there, but not bad for a newly promoted side. In terms of the schedule and where we're going to be, if we look at this, I'll probably come back in December or January, because this is where we'll be in a position to see whether we're going to be in the running for getting into the O-League, for the Oceania Champions League, which we probably won't be in the running for, to be honest. I mean, I'd be surprised because they were newly promoted, but if we are, then it'll be good to come back for that. Otherwise, it'll be good midpoints, and then we'll come in for the end run of the season. It's been a bit difficult getting into this game just because of the timing. I started a bit later than I planned to in the kind of Football Manager 20 sort of cycle, and then obviously big life events in having a baby boy born in the middle of it all, which is obviously deservedly taken up my time. I know last season for FM19 we get like 10 seasons in or towards that. Probably have to go check that, but we got quite far in because we just had more free time, really. But hopefully I'll start a bit earlier next season for FM21, and we're just having a slightly reduced schedule. I'll be able to play more and enjoy it more, get us to the point where the league's changing more. But as always, thanks for joining me. Appreciate you watching it and watching along and investing your time in it, which is why I'm going to make sure I round off the seasons at the very least, so you're not left in the lurch, and potentially do a simulation to see where things go in a few years' time if need be. But yeah, thanks very much.